Investigate with Kate. Today I'm here with Ella Grace Francis, my bestie from Polar Express.
Yes.
And I will be asking her some questions. You're not prepared. I don't think you are.
Am I not? Okay. Oh, I'm scared.
Okay. In my opinion, the 80s is the best decade for music. It is.
Okay.
It just is.
Yes.
If
I would
anybody
agree.
disagrees, you're wrong. How would you describe your job using, well, it's not really a job. How would you describe your career with an 80s song title?
With an 80s song title, that's a tough one. I would probably say I'm so excited. Don't know who it's by. I'm not as educated on it as you are.
Pointer Sisters.
Pointer Sisters.
Pointer Sisters, yes. I'm so excited by the Pointer Sisters. It's a great song and it would describe me. I'm very excited.
Yeah, like every time I do like a show, I'm just like, yes.
Exactly.
But then like when it's over, you're just like,
I know.
no.
Well, the thing right now with my music is like there's no end really in sight right now, so I'm like kind of just taking off. So that's why I'm like excited. You know, it's like with the show there's like a set date. You know it's gonna end, and it gets so sad. I
Yeah.
always cry whenever I close a show.
What's the funniest or most surprising thing that's ever happened to you on stage?
On stage, oh my, I have to narrow down my stories. I have a lot of crazy stories from Dollywood. One time I was in Mary Poppins and I fell down the stairs completely.
Oh.
And then just like rolled, and then and the whole audience went. There was one time in Dollywood where there was a cast member in the middle of our show had hurt his finger on like with a set piece, and there was like blood everywhere, and nobody. This was one of those shows where nobody was really leaving the stage. We were all kind of on stage, so we were like whispering to each other on stage. We're like, I think somebody broke their finger. Like we were just. It was really funny, and we had to keep going, and then we would kind of get bits and pieces of what was happening when we were off stage. And we had 2 more shows, so then between shows we did a full reblock. It was really incredible to see all of the professionals like in their element, just like doing what they're supposed to do, like keep going, and I learned a lot from that. It was really cool.
What are your top 3 songs on your playlist right
On my
now?
playlist, that's actually a very good question. So my music style changes every day. It's like a mix between worship music, musical theater, and then like whatever's trending in pop right now, only because I try and listen for like inspiration on my own music. But if I had to narrow it down right now, probably what I'm learning right now in voice lessons, which is I'm not afraid of anything, from Songs for a New World, which is musical theater. And then 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton. Never
Yes.
leaves my
Never leaves my brain.
my playlist. Yeah. And then Christ Be Magnified. I think it's by Elevation Worship. Those are my 3 songs that I would say I've listened to in the past like 24 hours.
You recently performed with Kristen
I
Chenoweth.
did.
Can you tell me what that experience was like? Because
Yes.
it seems like a dream come true.
It was a dream come true. I felt like I was living a dream. So first of all, like Kristen, I grew up on her, right? It wasn't just Wicked. You're like, oh, we got to sing with Glinda. I was like, yes, but it was Wicked. It was Descendants. It was Tinkerbell. Like all of those shows that she was in that I loved and grew up on as a little kid. She's also in Hairspray Live, and she's just, I love her. I've always loved her. And so I went to her Broadway boot camp in 2024. And I got an email from Mary Mitchell Campbell, which is Kristen's music director. She like plays piano and directs for her when she performs on Wednesday. And it was like, Ella Grace, we know you live in New Orleans. We're gonna be near there. Do you think you could come sing with Kristen on Saturday night? She said, let me know if that'd be something you'd be interested in. I was like, I replied immediately and I was like, yes, please, thank you so much. And so then I came on Saturday and I was just like in awe because Kristen's just right there. She's being as sweet as she could possibly be. She's like doing yoga poses. Like she's just being in her full dress and shoes and everything. She's the sweetest person ever. And they say don't meet your idols, but I would say never meet your idols unless it's Kristen Chenoweth because she is such a sweet person who was so encouraging. She told me he was in a shopping center, so there was like a lot of people, around because you had to have like a certain kind of pass to get into the performance. It was a whole thing. But there's a lot of people around, there's a lot of noise. And she was like, even if there's a lot of noise, me and you are still gonna have our moment, okay? I was like, okay. And so I was back there and it was just, they called my name, I went up. And Kristen was just she immediately came up, she put her arm around me and she's like, hi, introduce yourself to the audience. Like she made me feel very comfortable on stage. Sorry, I don't know what that is. And then don't know if you can see in the video, but we're singing and she keeps putting her mic down and she'll say stuff like, beautiful, you're doing great. And then right when we would finish, she said, you did it, like off mic. And I was like, oh my God. And I like started crying right before we were done. And she ran and gave me a hug and she was like, you did it, it was so good, you did it, I'm so proud of you.
Do you consider yourself a celebrity?
No, I do not consider myself a celebrity. No, I would not say so. I'm very flattered that you asked me that question. Now I feel like a celebrity. No, I don't. I do not consider myself a celebrity.
What inspired you to write the music on your album?
That's a very good question. So Waves was about my grief journey, right? So I lost both my grandmothers within 8 months of each other, and dealing with my own grief and watching my family grieve, it was just very hard time for me, and I turned to God in those moments, and I also turned to music, and it was very healing for me to write all of the music. Just like journaling is, when people have very strong feelings, they write everything out and it helps them understand it more. I didn't know that I felt a certain way until after I started writing the music, and it helped me process things, and it was very healing for me. And I'm seeing now people will message me or text me and they'll be like, I listened to your song, this is my story, this is my grief journey, this is how Waves touched me. And seeing how it's helping other people makes everything so worth it, and I'm just very honored and touched that people are listening to it and getting something out of it. I just want it to be hope for people.
What exciting things are up next for you?
Well, my album hit #1, so we're trying to just ride the success of thank you. We're trying to ride the success of that and just kind of be like, we're partnering with a lot of different grief organizations around the country to put on some fun events that we're having in the works right now. And then as far as theater goes, I'm going back to the Kristen Chenoweth Broadway Boot Camp in about like 2 weeks, I think. So I'm really excited about that.
When I'm in high school, I'm gonna go audition.
You better. You're gonna love it.
I am going to audition, and I'm probably gonna audition with My New Philosophy.
Perfect, I love it.
We can investigate with Kate. Please go listen to Waves. I listened to it. I just listened to the whole thing as soon as it came out. And
Thank you.
the second after, I'm just like, Ella, I just finished Waves.
I remember that. That was so sweet.
And then I posted in the Hero Kids group chat, because yes, we have that.
We still all keep in touch from Polar Express, huh?
Congrats, Ella, you beat Kids Bop.
I beat Kids Bop. I did. And Bluey and Miss Rachel.
Yes.
That was like the highlight of my life.